traffic in the nation. In 2010, 269 died due to pedestrian traffic accidents. There are some intersections that have particularly high rates of accidents. Many times people get into these accidents because they are not paying attention to turning cars or streetlights. It is no question that crossing the street in New York City is deadly. What's alarming is that there is simply an inexpensive solution that can prevent these accidents. For the visually impaired, crossing the street is not only dangerous, it is almost impossible.
New York City streets are not very friendly for the blind and visually impaired. When crosswalks are busy, people with visual impairments have very little awareness of when to cross the street. It takes 7 to 15 seconds to cross, however, people with visual impairments do not know when that countdown starts. There are 60,000 New Yorkers who are legally blind and another 36,000 with severe visual impairments. It is even harder for the blind when the streets are not busy. They have a harder time figuring out when to cross and in which direction the cars are coming from because there are no signs that help them determine when and where to go. In order to alleviate this problem, we propose that New York City increases the number of audible pedestrian signals installed in New York City crosswalks from 25 installations a year to implementing them in all high-traffic intersections. We also propose that the Department of Transportation perform biannual inspections to assure proper maintenance of the machines. Audible pedestrian signals assist people who have hearing and vision loss by indicating when it is safe or unsafe to walk through a spoken message and a vibration. It is aimed to help people that have these disabilities, but it is also beneficial to the general public in its entirety by making them aware of when to cross.
There are over 12,000 intersections in New York City. Currently, there are 48 APS machines installed. The current Department of Transportation policy is that New York City is only mandated to install 25 per year. At this rate, it will take 480 years to install one in every intersection. On average, the cost of one APS machine is between $200 to $400. The cost to install one traffic signal ranges between $20,000 to $140,000. If we can spend $20,000 on a traffic signal, we should be able to spend a little extra to provide safety and security for the blind and the public in general. We should pass this proposal because APS systems help the blind feel safer and more independent on traffic. In addition, it will save many lives by instructing the pedestrians of when to cross the road by influencing them to cross the street when responsible.
A period of technical questions. Is there a technical question on the floor? Councilmember LaFortune.
Ben Fortune, Fabush.
Please address that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ben Fortune, Fabush itself. How is this going to be paid for?
Well, currently, there are 25 installations made every year. How it's going to be paid for is up to the federal budget in New York City. And I guess, well, yeah, it's basically based on the federal budget, how they decide to spend money on it.
Is there another technical question on the floor? Councilmember Gator.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tabitha Gator from Flatbush YHSL. Who's going to make sure that the machines are always working in all the communities?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Department of Transportation they'll have biannual inspections to ensure that we are all working.
Is there another technical question on the floor? Councilmember Navarro.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nancy Navarro, Cross Island said, what are the physical implications of this bill?
I'm sorry, please repeat your question.
What are the physical implications of this bill?
We would like to install all of these audible pedestrian signals throughout every intersection in New York City. We would like to start off with intersections that have high rates of traffic accidents, but we would like to install all of them throughout New York City.
Is there a final technical question on the floor? Councilmember Placencia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Placencia from Cruz Island YMCA. Would this decrease the amount of lives lost in the streets?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Throughout the past 10 years, we've increased the number of audible pedestrian signals, and as a result, the amount of fatalities have decreased.
The time for technical questions has now elapsed. We will now move into a period of pro-con debates. Is there a pro on the floor? Is there a con on the floor? Is there a pro? Oh, wow. Councilmember Circle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nick Sarful, HSL Flatbush. I agree with the proposal because I think it's going to make it safer for citizens to cross the street or civilians. So I agree with the proposal.
Is there a con statement on the floor? Councilmember Mohammed. Councilmember LaFortune.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ben William Fortune, Flatbush HSL. I believe that it would usually take 480 years to put all of them at all intersections. There must be a reason why. It's probably expensive to do so. So I think that doing it now would cost a little bit too much to the government. So yeah, that's why I'm against it.
Is there a final pro statement on the floor? Councilmember Billy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tamara Billy, Flatbush HSL. I agree with your proposal because sometimes I do think about how blind people cross the street, and I worry about those sometimes. So, this gives me assurance.
The time for con-pro debate has now elapsed. We will now move into a period of closing statements. Bill sponsors will now have 1 minute. You may begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was walking along the street in Columbus Circle when I saw a blind man asking to help to cross for the street. It was then when I realized how frightening and dangerous it is for blind people to cross streets. When they don't know when the walk zone is on and rely on parallel traffic while crossing busy streets. For some intersections like Park Avenue, there is no way for a blind person to know that there is a knee in the middle of the road. This can be easily mistaken for the sidewalk, where a blind person may keep walking, not expecting traffic to be coming. For the blind, a normal walk to the grocery store can be a life-threatening event. The audible pedestrian signal machine gives the blind the ability to not only cross the street safely, but it also gives them the ability to cross them independently, providing a sense of security. While there's a cost of these signals, this is an investment in making our streets safer for everyone. It's imperative that we input these signals in the high rates of traffic accidents, in intersections that have high rates of traffic accidents. Pass this proposal today, and you will make New York a safer, more responsible, caring city.
Redirect funds to styrofoam trays toward reusable plastic trays and dishwashers.
Styrofoam trays are harmful to the environment and to the